perspective, even though podcasting wasn't that big back then. But it really shaped my I would say my perspective. And I'm lucky enough to actually have a community of friends. More especially one of my friends, big fan of his, and also he's big fan of mine. And he keeps on telling me that I should keep pushing. And I feel like that really plays a role on the path one is on. I don't care what kind of path you are in, as long as you have that one person that will actually keep on telling you that you messed up that there and there and there and there, as someone that keeps on motivating you.
Even if you have to like build it inside your head, like there was one point at the start where I was getting like 3 story views on Instagram. And I was like, these 3 people need me to do it. They need me to go to gym. They need me to fucking eat the right food. They need me to be on here talking every day. Like for you, like they need my podcast. People need what I do. Even if that's not true, even if you ask those 3 people and they're like, I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't give a shit if you don't post. You have to still build that like delusion in your head that these people need you to show up. And that's when a man operates the best too, under obligation. Like my girl needs me to earn more money. My family needs me to get them out. They don't care. They're not going to die if I don't. But it's like building that obligation, and that for a man will be the biggest internal drive. If you have to be delusional and tell yourself things that aren't true just to get your ass going, like there's this, like one person on my story is like about to hit the bottle. I'm going to show them that I fucking don't miss. I'm going to wake up on time. I'm going to hit my workouts. I'm going to eat the right food. I'm going to tell them what's up. I'm going to post unlimited content so that one person is saved. If you just have to be delusional and make stuff up in your head, that's fine, man. Do what you need to do. Later on, it'll pay off. But yeah, it's not always going to be true, dude. 3 people on your story, even if there's 500 people on your story, they're like, God, this motherfucker's posting again. Like, that's annoying as shit. But like, you just keep telling yourself different things. Your self-talk always like produces the right actions if it's the right self-talk.
And also speaking on top of that, and I used to have this perception that I'm the greatest podcaster ever in the world, and that actually kept me in terms of actually not stopping. And if I could tell you that in a way of I wasn't able to speak properly the way I'm speaking to you now. And back then, it isn't the same, because through my journey, I have learned a lot in terms of podcasting. And I've learned through failing. And it's something that we don't do, is the fact that we are so afraid of failing. And to a point that a person rather not achieve their goals instead of failing. It's something that I've seen within myself and started to. I'm someone that always has been positive. I don't know where I got that, but I'm always positive, even though I fail, even though I am rejected. Because when I started this, I just sent emails to everyone, I would say celebrities, sent emails, and I got rejection after rejection after rejection. But that didn't stop me from actually going forward and saying that, oh flip, I need to actually, no, let me stop this. This thing is not worth it. And it's something that...
You said, sorry, keep going.
You can go on.
You said at the start, I told myself I was the best. The thing is, you are the best. You're the best podcasting that you've ever done. So if you just keep going and you keep being better, then you are the best. If everyone always says like, oh, you're not good. That's comparing yourself to other people. If you're the best you and you're the best podcaster that you've ever been, you're the fucking best. And you telling yourself that will only make you like get better. You know what I mean?
I get you. And you spoke about comparison, and I remembered, I always actually, this quote is always back of my head, whereas this guy was in the gym and they was with this girl and they were speaking about comparison. And
I've seen that video. I've seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Whereas
Keep going.
yeah, when the girl says that comparison is the thief of joy, and I feel like that's
right.
where we actually fail at, and we keep on comparing ourselves on in terms of with that person and that person. It goes back to me also. If, for example, if I compare myself with Chris Williamson, Chris Williamson has been doing this for 6 years. If I compare myself with Steve Bartlett has been doing this for the longest years, and he is CEO. He's actually has more experience than me, and to all these people that I compare myself with, and it's a people that have more experience than me, and it goes back to that thing of actually, to me, I see it as I like to compare myself to people that are too high than me and think that actually I would catch them and have this.
Yeah, you should have like a vision and a goal of these top people. Like, I want what they have. I want the platform. I want to speak like they do. I want to show up like they do. All that kind of stuff. But yeah, the comparison should always come from you, which means if you drop off and you stop doing the work and you lose motivation, and you're also comparing yourself to the best you, right? So you're like, you got to be honest with yourself. I was killing it. I was uploading every day. I was talking every day. I was talking with this level of energy, all that kind of stuff. And now I'm kind of down here. And I need to get back to that, because I only operate at my best when I'm the best. I only achieve new levels when I'm holding the line of being the best version of myself. So comparison works both ways. Everyone says compare yourself to yourself. That's good, but when you drop off, you got to be honest with yourself and be like, I'm not being my best, because I was just doing that before, and I was killing it, and I was at my best ever. I've got to get back to my best ever. But set goals that other people are achieving. Say like, I want this platform. I want to make this much money. I want to look this way. I want to come in this way. I want this kind of energy and all that kind of stuff. Them goals are great, but like for the vision that you're building, the person that you want to be, because that's necessary, but you also got to be honest when you fall off and that say like, I'm not doing my best right now, and I was just doing my best 6 months ago. I've got to get back to that person. That's comparison as well. It's not always trying to make yourself feel good.
It's quite important, and actually I'm seeing quite the time, and to wrap things up, what message do you want the audience to actually take out of today's conversation?
But I don't really. Your life doesn't get better until you get better. Ooh. If things aren't good in your life right now, it's your fault. It's no one else's. All right. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens because of you. All right. If you guys are depressed, if you guys are going through addiction, if you guys are trying to be whatever, if shit isn't good right now, if there's massive problems, you created it and it's your job to fix it. That's my message.
And just to actually to end things as a final in the phrase, and it's something that Alex Hamosi mentioned in a recent episode he did with Chris Williamson, where he said that, and sometimes we blame ourselves that we are not worth it, we don't have anything to offer to the world, and he would add, and so in a way of, when with that end, that means that what's the excuse of being bad? What's the excuse of working on yourself? What is the excuse of actually have that personal growth? So it's some things that I feel like the audience need to actually take time in terms of reconsider from, in terms of, I have fallen. How can I set myself for success? How can I put myself in that level of saying that, okay, it's fine.
Yeah. You also don't realize how many people that you can impact by just choosing positive actions and being better. Like, you don't realize that when you start like going to the gym and getting jacked, eating the right food, waking up early, doing all the things, you don't realize that your nephew started doing it because he's seen you doing it one time. Or now your girlfriend's picked up better habits just because you're showing them the way. You don't realize like the one person, some measly person, even if you like don't have a following on social media or whatever, your actions at your workplace, at your fucking home, at like even walking around the street, people are still impacted by you. You're still putting up energy, especially if it's positive energy. Positive energy, people operate on a higher frequency. That gets put out to the world and people are attracted to it. That's the point of being attractive. But you don't realize how many people you can impact. So it's not all about like, you need to be better and your life is your fault. Look at it the other way too. But like, if I can start being better, you know, I can help my brother in ways. I can help my sister, my girl, my parents, my people. It's that too. You don't realize how much impact you can make. And you won't. You will never.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Nathan, for being here. Really appreciate the conversation. Really loved it. And definitely, whilst you were talking, actually had a different perspective now and way I'm looking at it. As much as I had a positive, I would say, outlook on it, but at the same time, looking at that numbers game in terms of influencing that one person is quite important than influence thousands of people, because within that thousand of people, most of those people will say, flip. It's another thing in terms of I won't take the advice. But when it comes to that one person that they realize that, flip, this guy understands my story. This guy actually keeps on motivating me day in.
Right. If you can change one person's life, your life was worth living. That's the best thing I ever heard by Wes Watson. If you change one person's life and save them, that means your whole existence is worth living.